Well, we'll bring you that cue a bit later, but spokesperson of the National Food Suppliers Association, Kwaku Amedume, wants the government to swiftly provide a roadmap for immediate supply of food to forestall the worst situation. Well, we'll bring you that one as well. But I've got the PRO for Parents Teacher Association, one woman who has finally become one of my favorites to talk to, Irene Sam. And we also will talk to Kofi Asari a little later. He'll be joining us via Zoom, and he's Executive Director of Africa Education Watch. I know that you have heard the many cries of Charles, and Rev has been talking about it even before. Even you were in this studio some weeks ago, and you mentioned some of the things that you think that the previous government could have done better and what you expect this current government to do. Now, one of the things that Charles was looking forward was to be able to encourage GES to at least push the reopening a little further so that the food situation can be managed. Now we're where we are. Some schools say they have food, some schools say they don't have school. Even so, and what's worse is that the supply associations say they are unable to further supply food. How does the PTA feel about that?
Thank you very much. Let me say a good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners as well. And then we are so grateful for having us here this evening. My beautiful moderator, thank you so much for having us. Yes, so this is what has bedeviled us. And as you rightly said, this issue didn't begin today. So we are very much disappointed in Charles for sitting down, keeping quiet over issues, and they are now trying to voice it out and even to come out openly, appealing to parents, when they could have done that backdoor with us. We have been with Charles for many years now. They are part of our association, NCPTA. They represent the T aspect of the association. And then we have management systems in the schools who are also school heads. They are teachers. And they become parents to our children when they go to school. So this is how we have related well with them over the years. We have built staff bungalows for teachers, for heads of schools, dining halls, school and buildings. Just name them. When you go to every school today in Ghana and you try to pick out PTA projects, there is none left that we can even say this is for government or whoever. We have done so much. We are a collaborator. We are partners in education. And for that matter, we are the largest stakeholder in education. And we have played that role very well. Of which Charles can attest to that fact. So what has changed? That over the years, Charles has become some kind of hostile to us.
What would you rather have Charles do? Because a number of times we have seen Charles issue statements, we have seen Charles on media platforms, including ours as well, calling out the government on what they could do better and all of that. But what else did you want Charles to do?
My dear, how many times have they called on government, pressing their issues to government? Have they been ever be bold enough to even come out, say that let's postpone roping day before?
They did.
For how long? When?
In December, they were calling on government.
That's what we are saying, that why now? This arrears they are looking for is not today. 2-3 years, this issue started little by little. Now it has aggravated to this extent. What was Charles doing all this then? When they knew very well that we were there, they could have consulted us.
What kind of consultation? What did you think that Charles could request?
That kind of friendship, that kind of collaboration that had existed between us and Charles could have gone on. In the schools, we meet the management on issues relating to schools. You know, the welfare of our wards. Let's say things are not there. They call on us back door, and we go in to help them.
So what's the major concern?
So
now?
what
They are
has
publicly
changed?
asking you, or that they should have asked you privately.
Now,
what difference
the
would that
issue
make?
here is that Charles could have comfortably written to the national body, because we own the schools in terms of the parents, the PTAs. So we know this, our authority in the various schools. Just come to us.
Could you have influenced the government to push the reopening further?
Fine. Now, the reopening, we can say that we were not even looking at that because this calendar has really suffered. Looking at apart from COVID, I mean, we have enjoyed or we have suffered an epileptic calendar. Today like this, tomorrow like that. Even somebody who go to school today, the next 1 month, you are being put, turned to another class. No examination, no preparation, nothing. And that kind of issues is also there. We are not even talking about it yet. So we are saying that if there is, a change in roping, it's going to affect the academic calendar. Now, those who are in the transitional period or calendar, they just have 1 month to stay in school, and they'll go back.
Will you agree with me that myself, including some of our audience watching now, would be surprised that the PTA is not quite impressed at the way Charles has handled the issue? Because then we're wondering, PTA is quite a vocal community. And we also, maybe we have heard, some have heard, but have you also voiced out your concerns about Charles publicly before? And the question then would be fair to ask, why now then?
Yes, the issue here is that we are saying that Charles has been quiet for far too long.
Okay.
They could have come out earlier than they did.
What are the parents doing now?
Yes, right now we are saddled with this kind of issues. And as we said, look, I received several calls. Even some of them want to go and bring their works home. Because what's going on? When they're telling that your work cannot be fed in the schools. When we know that, yes, basically, education is a shared responsibility. But here's the case that government says, I'm doing this for your wards. And then it is not forthcoming. And then the people that the thing is biting most is we, the parents.
We are where we are now.
Because
Charles
our children...
help. Will you give it?
Fine. So right now that Charles is coming out, what did they want to achieve at this time? Has Charles ever come out openly to appeal to parents before? For the past 8 years, they have not done this.
Okay.
So why now?
We'll come to you again, Irene Sam. I want to go on Zoom and talk to Kofi Asare. Thank you for joining us. You have done a lot of work concerning this area. We are where we are. You have just heard the PTA speaking passionately now. You may have also heard a lot of the concerns that Charles have raised over the period. But what is the way forward?
The way forward, and good afternoon to your cherished audience. The way forward is for the government to issue a statement of comfort to assure suppliers that the government is committed to honoring their supplies and their supplies, and so there shouldn't be any inertia in supplying contracted foodstuff. The way forward is for the government to assure suppliers that even though the government has promised to decentralize the procurement of food to schools, it is not going to be an overnight activity. It's going to be a process. And so that intention does not automatically truncate their contract. And so they must continue to supply once they are supplying within their existing contracts.
Okay.
The way forward these two should happen immediately. Okay. In the medium term, we expect the government to, put the shoulder to wheel and then begin to have discussions with the Ministry of Finance to see how we can re-engineer the cash flow of the Ministry of Finance to confluence with the cash flow of the Ministry of Education. The issue is a liquidity issue. And it's also an issue of the lack of trust or apprehensions by food suppliers because of the politicized nature of that particular enterprise.
Okay. Let me come back to you.
Thank you.
Again. Oh, right. I almost thought that the network gave up on me, but let me come back to you. Please land on the point.
As the government assures... Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So as the government assured food suppliers of its commitment to honor their supplies, the government also has to ensure that the cash flow system, which has not met the needs of education, is reset such that the Ministry of Finance's cash flow makes, sense to education management and education delivery.
Beyond the points that you're raising now, should parents coming and at least cushion the schools for now?
Parents are already supplying, giving provisions to their food.
Should it be official? Should it be a request that is made official?
Well, parents are already supplying provisions to their children, the last study we did indicated that 60% of the cost that parents bear on secondary education is actually incurred on provisions, 60%. And so parents are already buying that. Perhaps it should be a reminder to parents that those parents who are not supporting sufficiently will have to make sure that their children have provisions.
Should it be a policy at all? They have mentioned that they will review them. Should it be a policy? At least a policy of 30%, 40%, any percentage that
the
parents
free senior high school policy.
Okay, let me come into the studio.
Thank you.
How much percentage do you think you can, if it becomes a policy, you can cushion government with and even the schools with?
Yes, so what we are looking at is what government can bring on the table.
Okay.
Because we don't know the funds available. So we governments should engage us. Okay, this is what I can bring to the table.
Okay.
Then let's also see the rest, how we can also come in and cushion.
Whatever it is, parents are willing
to support because we want the policy to stand. And this is what we want to do.
You say that the PTA will be ready to come.
We are ready. We are ready. We are bidding a lot already.
But currently, some of the schools say they're only surviving on Gary rice and all of that. Kofi Asare is mentioning that parents are supporting. And
they are supporting
so for now, until it becomes a policy, should you encourage? You can watch the camera and then also.
Yes, we encourage our parents, the PTAs, to support in this regard. So if your ward is already in the school, make sure that this weekend get some few more things and beef up. And then we're also looking at the canteens in the various schools, how we can make it work to supplement whatever they are given at the dining halls. So we are appealing to parents that they should give their wards some money. So that when they go to the schools, at break time, they can go and buy some gari, some banku or some kenke or watch it somewhere just to beef up whatever they are given in the school. And then also, we are also making an appeal to our PTAs in the various schools. They should look in their coffers and see what they can do to help the kitchen, just to beef up before government comes in to help in this regard. Okay. And then we are appealing to CHAS that we don't want this thing to happen again. Please, they have issues, they should come to us. We have been working, we are partners. Let us come together and trust issues and solve them. And then also to the new government, our doors are widely open for any form of engagement.
Did you feel well engaged by the previous government?
No, please. And so not at all. So this government, we are expecting that our doors are open for further engagement as to how to improve the education system, right from the basic level to the senior high school level.
Okay. If I still have Kofi, my final question in wrapping up with you would be, should it, I want a categorical answer, should it really be a policy that parents should support with a certain percentage at all?
Africa Education Watch has been advocating that parents of students who attend private schools at the junior high level and primary level should pay for the cost of their feeding in senior high schools. If they pay, that will amount to about 30% of senior high school students pay in cash. That cash will make liquid available to the government or to schools. As I keep saying, the challenge is a liquidity problem. But the policy doesn't allow, or it restricts parents from formally, paying. For the avoidance of doubt, we are talking of about 1,500 cedis a year, a whole year. We are not talking about 1 million Ghana cedis. It's just 1,500 cedis for the whole year for feeding your child. And so it is not an amount that the average private school parent cannot pay in a year. But because of the way the policy has been designed by the connoisseurs of the policy and the politicized nature of the policy, it makes it difficult to have any meaningful and honest discussion.
Right.
About making the policy equitable. But equity itself means that those whose socioeconomic background dictates or suggests that they can afford an aspect of the policy should support, so that money is used to support, the poor. But unfortunately, we have decided to politicize our program.
Okay.
And so we continue to carry the buckets and break our neck until our backs break.
Thank you so much, Kofi Asare, for talking to us. And I'll give you the final minutes, Irene Sam, to speak to your parents and Charles as well on what you're requesting from them and immediately what they can do to cushion your children.
So first of all, we want to say that, Charles, we have been working with you for a long time now, and we are still willing to work with you. So whatever be your challenges, we can always talk about it back door, as we have been doing in our various schools already. But we are pleading that some of these issues, whatever it is, it should come up earlier so that we can really find solutions to them, that we don't have to disrupt the academic calendar. We also are appealing to our parents out there that we should remain calm. Things will improve. They should just remain calm and help support the system for now until we further engage the new government and see the way forward. We are also appealing to our teachers as well in the various schools that in this regard, we need them to help, help our wards in the various schools, looking at how the crisis have become so awkward and then things are not going on well. So we are appealing to teachers as well that they should also help us in this regard. And then we are also appealing to government to also come to the needs of the teachers.
Okay.
The teachers are also suffering. They have a lot of issues that they need to be, to be solved. So we are praying that some of these issues should be resolved amicably. We want our education system to improve. We want to see quality in education, not just the access.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today in the studio. And Happy New Year to you. Well, just a quick update. The PRO, Kwesi Kwarteng, has been speaking on this matter, and he believes there are few things that has led to the situation. In our subsequent bulletins, we'll bring you a sense of that post that he made on his social media, explaining what may have caused this situation. Thank you for watching The Pulse. For much more news, though, do log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is MFA Akosia Adeti.